Testing. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Tom or Jay? Tom, I don't see my headphone mic. Okay, thank you.
We didn't. And last. But I have some time before we play, right? Maybe a little lower, yeah.
Friends, we're going to start our Yizkor service in just a few minutes. But as we've done as we've done in the last few years, not as part of the service, we've just lit the candles. So if anybody wants to come up and light one of the candles, just come up and be around, and we're just going to be lighting all of these candles now. Okay. And maybe, I don't know, Raul, you could, if you want to keep just playing a little. It's not ceremonial, but we're just doing it together. So anybody who just wants to be up here. You don't need to line up, just come around. Yeah. It's like, no. We'll start with a book that's in your song sheets. What's the number? Number 23 in your song sheets. And since there's not so many of us too, if people feel comfortable moving forward, that's also beautiful. Teach us to treasure each day. Measure each day. Teach us to measure each day. Teach us to treasure each day.
Good Yontif. I invite you to share a deep breath with me before we start. Breathing together is one of our best ways of grounding, landing, being together. Yizkor is a time for memory. To be together and to think together about those who we've lost. As a practice, it accompanies holidays in the Jewish calendar. Is there something I can do to make this clearer? Okay. As a practice, it accompanies the major holidays of the Jewish calendar, with each of them providing us an opportunity to sit, to remember. But Yom Kippur, the holiday, is a little different. It is a time when the veil is particularly thin, and perhaps we have thinned it a little bit. Yom Kippur is seen as a rehearsal of sorts. We spend the day making confession, making vidui, saying, these are things I wish to leave behind. And in the Jewish process of dying, we also do that. One of our last actions on earth is to do that, is to leave things behind, to grant forgiveness, to ask forgiveness. And so in this rehearsal of sorts, we've already blurred the lines between life and death a little bit. And we find here now in the afternoon that with those lines slightly blurred, we may have a little bit more moment to remember, a little bit more access to those memories of our loved ones, maybe even to share a few words with them, words we've been waiting to say, or maybe even listen for words we've been waiting to hear. Just to have the opportunity here to gather for that act of memory, to recognize the special space we're in. That today on Yom Kippur, we may be able to ask things we couldn't ask for other times of year, or say things we couldn't say at other times of year. We hold apart a little space today to do that. We curate a booklet together called the Yizkor book, and that booklet is held virtually now. It's on our website. It'll be emailed to those of you who are members. And it's a space to just share names, relationships, the littlest markers of those memories together. And that's something that is worth sitting with today, if you like, or tomorrow, or any of these days, because between now and the end of Sukkot is really one long holiday. We're in this Chag space, this space of connection through these next 10 days. I know it felt like the last 10 days were holiday. Yom Kippur is a fulcrum. It's a moving point. So we go from the Yamim Noraim towards Sukkot. And we hold these memories throughout that period. We recognize that this is a space for individual grief, for that sense, that very personal sense of loss. That's what we hold this space for, but that's all that happens here. Because that individual grief that we carry also holds the grief for the world as it is at this moment. A world broken open by loss on a scale that boggles the mind. It makes it hard to think only of individuals and pulls us toward both the political loss and also just the massive scale of human loss. Individuals, families, cities, communities. And we hold both of those here in this space today because we recognize that while there may seem to be a difference, there really isn't. The pain is so present. And whether that pain is for an individual that you're thinking of, a beloved, a friend, a comrade, or if that pain is more diffuse, the pain is what connects us. We welcome it from wherever it comes. Before we move into personal losses, I want to invite us to mark our collective loss this year. That loss is a marker of war, of devastation, of colonialism, of racism, of classism, which unfortunately we've seen really weaponized in a way in this past year, and I worry in this next year that will cause lives to be lost. Of anti-Semitism, the cause of lost life just this morning. Of transphobia and homophobia. We recognize that these losses fall disproportionately on people of color and the poor. We recognize also that we expect these losses to increase. We've already seen the first losses due to climate change, and we expect more. And that, as a fact, weighs heavily. For all these losses, and for the many, many collective losses we haven't mentioned, we hold a moment of silence together. And you may decide in this moment of silence that you need some connection. You might ask your neighbor if you'd like to hold hands or to put your arms around each other. Silence doesn't have to mean individuality, but for some of us, we would like it to be individual. So please ask permission first. But together we mourn in silence these collective losses.
join us, number 9 on the song sheets. Number 9, Karov.
As I said, at this time of year, the proximity that we have and the openness that we've been working on today, for the last 10 days, for the last 6 weeks, that openness may give us opportunity to say things that need to be said. And so I invite us now to turn to individual losses, people in your life who've passed that you're thinking of this Yom Kippur. And I offer you a few options for how you might like to engage. The first The first is that you may want to have a conversation with someone you're remembering. It may be that there are things you need to say, or just want to say. It may be that your beloved friends, family, or loved ones need an update about what you've been up to recently. And it may be that you have questions or desires, requests from them. And if that's the case, I invite you to make a space for yourself where you feel comfortable having that conversation. And it's okay to speak words out loud, quietly. And sometimes I find it's useful to pull my tallis up and give myself just that little bit of privacy to have that conversation. And it may be that that's not the conversation you need to have today. It may be that what would be most useful in your memories, in your remembrance of them, would be to tell someone something you remember about them, to share their name and one memory, maybe not the best one, but the first one, the one that pops into your head. And if this would be the best way, I invite you to ask someone near you like to share stories. And recognizing that for some, this is going to be a very personal and inward space, so please take it lightly if someone says, no thank you. Accept it if someone says, no thank you. Find someone else to share with. And finally, this may be a space where you want to have no conversation, not with those who've passed or with those who are here, where you want to sit quietly and have your memories and be in the space you need to be in. And that also is welcome. Any of these ways are good ways to connect now. We'll give you a few minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, to have this moment of connection or of silence.
can follow along, number 25 in the song sheets.
The work of teshuvah that we've been doing today, it gives us a certain intimacy, an availability. We've been doing this cheshbon hanefesh. My mouth is starting to get dry from the from the fast. We've been doing this cheshbon hanefesh. And that work of accountability maybe opens us a little bit. And that opening can be a place of connection. We feel the memories of those loved ones we've lost. We may have been feeling it throughout these days, or maybe we've come here just for this moment in order to feel it. To remember them, to feel close to them, and perhaps even to make teshuvah with them. We also gather in community in order to recognize each other in our grief, in order to see each other, because it is part of what community is. Holding each other through this experience. And so I'm going to start naming some of the relationships that you may be holding in this room. And I ask that you hold it lightly with me, because we know that it can be difficult to categorize some of our relationships. Some may not have a formal name. Others may be informal name only. And so I ask you to be flexible with me and recognize that as the words I'm speaking reach you, as they touch you, as they resonate with you, to stand if I'm describing a relationship that you're holding particularly in your memory today. Start out by thinking about parents, step-parents, the people who raised you. Stand in body or in spirit if you're remembering a parent. The legacy of parents can be challenging and also beautiful. We see it in many parts of our lives. We recognize their memory, their love, the legacy of the way that they raised us. We recognize the quirks about them. Some of them that we were very used to seeing, or some that we only recognized after they passed. May the source of all life hold you in this moment of memory. And may their memories be a blessing. You may be seated. I'm thinking of partners and spouses. People who are remembering a partner or a spouse, please rise. This is a special relationship of having co-formed together, having lived a section of life as each other's person. It is a relationship of love, and that love remains even after their passing. We hold it perhaps in the most treasured part of our hearts. We recognize that they transformed us and that the ways we've continued to grow is an honor to their memory and to their role in our lives. May the source of life hold you and hold their memories. And may their memory be a blessing. I'm thinking now of siblings, people who are remembering a sibling. Siblings can be a complicated relationship, but there's something special about someone who knows you over a long period of time. Perhaps it's someone you grew up with, perhaps not. But that feeling of having sometimes a friend, sometimes a rival, sometimes a frenemy, that feeling of accompaniment is so critical to who we are. And their loss can be especially painful. And so in this moment of memory, I ask that the source of life hold you. Hold the memory of your beloved sibling. And that their memory be a blessing for you. I'm thinking of children, and for those who've lost children, I invite you to stand. It is not true that one loss is more painful than another, but this one can be particularly hard. It is so difficult to be the carrier of the story of a child who was part of your life and no longer is. That is to say, their part now is as your memory, is as your love that will go on forever. You're caring for them, your role as parent to them. These things are indelible. In this moment of memory, we're with you, holding memories of tiny young ones and older young ones and not so young anymore ones. We're thinking of them with you. And we ask that the source of life bless you and hold their memory with you. We see in you that their memory is a blessing. And we are blessed to have you. I'm thinking now of grandparents, aunts, uncles, the elder generations that aren't parents. These are the ways that we are connected to our past, to our ancestors. We think of the stories they told us, both of things that happened before we were born and of things that happened when we were very young. We think of the stories that they now rely on us to tell, that we hold from them and about them, and perhaps we tell to our own nieces and nephews, children or grandchildren. May the source of life hold us in this memory, and may their memories be a blessing on us all. I'm thinking now of cousins, nieces, and nephews, those in our generation or younger than us who've passed, and we're holding their memories today. For the extended family, for the ways that family grows in a great web, for the ways that these nieces and nephews and cousins touched our lives and added flavor in that those slight differences, different than our family of origin and yet so familiar at the same time. All these ways are the beauty of memory. We hold their memories as part of our extended families and ask the source of life to be there with us in that holding, to hold their memories with compassion, and that those memories be a blessing. For friends, for other beloveds, for chosen family. These may be people who saw specific sides of you that maybe no one else saw. These may be people who shared parts of your life separate from family and yet just as intimate, just as close. We recognize that in some ways, these are the people that you reached out to. These may be the people that were the first people you called when you needed a hand or when you needed support. For the ways that relationship is more complex than just family, for the ways that friends can be complicated and yet so crucial. For the ways that they saw you for who you are. We ask that the source of life hold their memory with you here today with compassion, and that their memory be a blessing. And finally, a request to hold the memory of teachers, mentors, people who had an impact on who you are today. Perhaps these are more likely your students or your colleagues. But for those who taught us important ways of being that maybe we recognized at the time, or maybe it took us years or decades afterwards to really recognize that impact. Those who've passed, and yet who we are today is shaped by their imprint. And also for the things that you taught them. Because we know that that is, in fact, one of the great gifts of teaching and mentorship. Perhaps the gifts your students gave you, or the gifts you gave your teacher. These two are part of the memory and spark that sense of connection. We hold their memory and their loss together. And we ask that the source of life hold it with us with compassion. And may their memory be a blessing. And may you share that blessing with all of us by being who you are, by teaching what they taught you. We say together, Amen. I'd like to invite Rabbi Alan Lippman. In Kolot's early days, we were blessed that death was an uncommon experience in the community. Now we are 31 years into that community's life, and we've known more loss. At this point, we'd like to remember Kolot members who have died over the years, some many years ago and some recently. We're honoring those who've been members of Kolot and who've passed away, and we mourn them all. And we're thankful to our president, Cindy Greenberg, who some years ago realized we need to note these deaths especially. These are dearly loved Kolot members, no longer with us. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a source of blessing for us all. If you are close to one or more of these people, please rise when their name is read.
Is this on? I just want to add my gratitude to Cindy for having had this idea at the time that we needed it. These are in alphabetical order, and so please, roughly in alphabetical order. So please rise when you hear a name of someone that was a beloved or a teacher or, a fellow volunteer, sister volunteer with you. Al Oster, Amina Rahman, and we want to note with gratitude that our beautiful white Torah covers for the holidays were a special gift to the congregation from Amina. Bernice Dambowick, Emma Missouri, Fred Miller, Jean Thomases, Jerry Darvin, Jerry Sager, Jesse Streich Kest, John Kest, John Nadell, Lenora Lapidus, Leonore Gordon, Martha Usden, Marvin Usden, Natalie Levy, we should note, was the first president of Kolot Chayeinu. Pablo Ramirez, Rachel Rose Kane Morgan, Robin Glassman, Sammy Cohen Eckstein, Shelley Weiss, Sue Finkelstein, Susan Malice, Ted August, Terry Malachatova de Fiore, Tom Beaver, Yossi Halperin, and let's take a moment of silence as we remember them.
Raoul, inviting you to come up. Thank you. We're going to turn to page 593 for Psalm 23. Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai roi lo echzar, binot asher bitzeini, al mei menuchot yenachaleini, nafshi shovev yanacheni v'maglei tzedek leman shemo. Gam ki eilech beged zalmabet lo yirara ki ata imadi. Shivtecha mishantecha hema yenachamuni. Tarach lefanai shulchan neged surinai. Dishanta vashanen roshi kosir vayan. Ach tov v'chesed yirdefuni kol yemei chayai. V'shai beit Adonai leorei yamim. We invite you to rise. As available to you in body and spirit, we turn to page 598 for the recitation of El Malei Rachamim. These words we chant: merciful God, God Most High, let there be perfect rest for the souls of our loved ones who have gone into eternity. May they find shelter in your presence among the holy and pure, whose light shines like the radiance of heaven. Compassionate God, hold them close to you forever. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May they find a home in you, a home, and may they rest in peace. Malei Rachamim, Shochein Bamromim, Amtzeinu Chona, Mekuna Nechona, Tachat Kanfei HaShechina, Im Kedoshim Utehurim, Kezohar Harakia Mazirim, Lenishmat Yakireinu Shehalachu Leolamam, Va'al Harachamim Yastirem, V'seter Kenafal Leolamim, Bitzror HaChaim, Et Nishmatam, Adonai Hu Nachalatam, V'yanuchu b'shalom al mishkavam, v'nomar Amen.
On page 14 and 15 of your supplement, David's Kaddish. And so it is.
And so it goes. When
We hear and see and feel and taste. And we come and we go and we leave behind and gone the life of here, wishing hope for all Israel and all the world that we cannot know. And we say, Amen. And as we stand together, we derive peace from pain to remember every life. We here affirm the grace of love, the hope of living, the gulf of loss, the fear of losing, the missing ones, remembered all holding us. And each name we say tears a hole and mends the same, and tears and tears, it mends and closes and opens us as we are and as we are not. So we are here and know that this moment of all moments, together shared, is our time of hope, our time of peace. Hoping as we hold on to this passing, that some one of us will hold on to us when our name is said. And all this peace will also be for you and for me. And we say, Amen. The Kaddish is on page 606. Yitkadal, v'yitkadash, shemei rabbah, v'alma divarach hirutei, v'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach, le'olam u'lalmei almaya, Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yithale, v'yithalal, shemei dekudsha, brichu. Le'ela ule'ela, mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen.
Nachamu, nachamu, ani amar Elohecha. 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 These words from Isaiah, not in your Machzor, a plea for comfort. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle to take care of one another. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle with this world.
As we conclude Yizkor together, I'd invite a few of those deep breaths that we started with. A moment of transition together, closing out this time that we've shared with each other, with our beloved departed. This time set aside for memory and connection. We'll close with just one more minute of silence, recognizing that us breathing together is our closing connection. We'll move towards our closing service. But before we do, I'd like to hear a few words from Seth Pierce. Where are you, Seth? There you are. Thank you all for this Yizkor. Looking forward to Neilah and the words of the rabbis. Ma Neilah.
Gemar Tov. My name is Seth Pierce, and I joined Kolot Chayeinu 27 years ago when I was 8 years old. I remember my parents dragging my younger brother Jacob and I to Shabbat services. There were not so many kids at Kolot back then. Sometimes we were the only one. And I wasn't very excited to go. But it was an incredibly formative experience for me. I became steeped in the words and melodies of the liturgy. I learned about Jewish values and leftist politics. And I was later shocked to learn that some people do not see those two things as necessarily interconnected. One essential Kolot story for me, I don't think I've told this ever publicly. I remember one time I was in high school and we were at one of our Kolot youth group sessions way back when. And we were in our teacher, Ora Weiss's living room. And we were having a really inspiring lesson about the Black Panthers and the Young Lords and all kinds of radical democracy movements, classic Hebrew school stuff. And a bunch of us were like, hey, we all go to different high schools. We should get together and form a New York City public school student union. And we totally did it. This thing that started in a Kolot youth group meeting turned into students from dozens of schools all over New York City getting together to fight for free Metro cards and student voice and all kinds of other great things. And the only way that we were able to make that happen was with the help of another Kolot member, Amina Rahman, who many of us are remembering today in this time of year, who got us space for our union meetings. I met her here at Kolot, and she became an important mentor of mine. She is one of the reasons I became a public school educator and remain so to this day. I thank Kolot for that, and in that way and others, Kolot has had a huge and very important part in my life. My 3 children had their baby namings here, and 2 of them are now second-generation members of the Children's Learning Program. This community has been there for my parents as they've battled illness, and the clergy officiated at my grandparents' funerals. Kolot has changed a lot since I was a kid. We used to be able to squeeze, just barely, into Gethsemane for the high holidays. We can't anymore. My family is just one example of how we've become a more multi-intergenerational community. And I think that we've become a shul that engages more deeply with some of the more traditional elements of our faith, such as the Talmud, for example, than we once did early on. But there are many things about Kolot that have stayed the same, and many of those things are rare, and those are things that I am proud of. I am proud to drag my children to a shul where at Shabbat services, everyone really sings. I am proud that when we get there, they hear the voices of trans people and Jews of color from the Bima. And I am proud that they will grow up knowing that they are part of a community that believes that being Jewish means standing up against the genocide in Gaza. I am proud to be a part of this congregation. I love this congregation. I wish there were more congregations like this one, but sadly, as we have seen over the last 2 years, there are not many. And this congregation is in a tough situation financially. I am here to ask you to give money. To keep our doors open to everyone on these high holidays, we ask that everyone contribute something. We need to raise $150,000 before the rapidly approaching end of these high holidays. And so we suggest contributions of $360 per person for non-members and $180 per person for members. If you can give some larger amount, $540, $7,200, $10,000, some other multiple of 18, please, please do. If you can only give a smaller amount, please, please do. As a great Jew-ish philosopher that many Kolotniks are quite fond of once said, from each according to. You get the thing. Whatever amount you give will be meaningful and deeply impactful for this community. You can do so by taking a donation card on your way out, using the QR code, or clicking the donation links on the website or YouTube. Also, one last thing. If you haven't done so already, you should probably become a member. You've made it this far. You've obviously love it here. We love having you here. And just like with the high holiday dues, we have a sliding scale that allows you to pay the dues that are right for you. It's not that hard. Now, I don't really remember not being a member of Kolot Chayeinu, but I am proud to be one. Today is a great day for you to join a congregation that you can be proud of too. Gemar Tov.
So we're going to just take a few minutes breather. We're going to be turning soon to the prayers of Neilah, which we'll talk about in a minute. But we're going to move this table off to the side and gently let those candles live over there. So we could use a few people's help, but please get up and we'll come back together in just a couple minutes. Thank you. Yeah, I think just over, it does roll. Yes, thank you. Just. No, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
That's right. Just say, I know, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, everyone. That was great. Come back. We are going to begin the Neilah service, number 19 in your supplements. We rise, humbly hearted rise, won't be divided, rise, with spirit to guide us, rise, with hope in prayer, we find ourselves here in hope, in prayer. We're right here in hope, in prayer. We find ourselves here in hope, in prayer. We're right here and we rise. All of the children rise. Elders with wisdom rise. Ancestors around us rise. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here in hope, in prayer. We're right here in hope, in prayer. We find ourselves here in hope, in prayer. We're right here.
As we come towards Neilah, we can see the light starting to change in the windows, the sun starting to set. And we know that the time is short and there is much left to do. What we do is take a moment, each of us, to bring our personal prayer, the thing that has not been available until this moment, or the thing you've been waiting to say all day. We take that thing and we each, as we desire, You don't have to. Those of us that wish to will make a line and take a moment in front of the Ark and the Torahs to share that one thing, to pray that one prayer, to have that one desire, to be there with that feeling. An opportunity to, well, as my therapist friends say, to ask your doorknob question. That thing that doesn't occur to you until you're on your way out of the room. We've done a lot of work today. We've done a lot of work the last 10 days. And yet here at the end, suddenly something new might come to you. Something may occur that you need to say. We have a lot of us here, and time is short. But I encourage you, as you're lining up, to think about what your moment might be. By the time you're in front of the Ark, is not the time to be thinking about what it might be. We will move pretty quickly through the moment. So, we'll start stage left over here.
Actually, I think this has been easier this way. I think.
It's easier
Just
this way.
historically, we're going to go this way.
Start stage right. Your left. We'll start on the stage right. You can come up alone. You can come up with a friend or a family member. Whatever feels right to you. And we're going to continue with the service while we're queuing and then while we're moving through. And so as you feel ready, come down. I congratulate those of you who are already ready. Good work. Good work. Those of you who are not, it's okay. You can get in line and think about it while you're in line. We're going to open the Ark. It's traditional to stand whenever the Ark is opened. This will be a long time standing, so I want to repeat what we started with, which is that we hold this honor of standing in front of the open Ark collectively. And if you as an individual need to sit, please do. Please do. It is not a time to challenge our joints, our muscles, or our aches and pains. We've been fasting. We've been praying all day. Sit if you need to. Sit if you want to. What holds the honor of this moment for you is what's important here.
And we'll invite everyone just to come close.
Yeah,
you don't
come
have
on
to
down.
stand back there. We're on page 614. El Nora Alila, El Nora Alila, Hamtelanu Mechila, Bishat Neilah, El Nora Alila, El Nora Alila, Hamtelanu Mechila, Bishat Neilah, Metemis Pakruim. Saladin Bethila Bishat Neilah El Nora Lila El Nora Lila Hamtelanu Mechila Bishat Neilah. At the bottom Krana Shnat Ratzon Ve'ashev She'ar Hatzon Le'oliva Shanim Rabat Habbanim ve'habbanot betzitz ditza uvetzahala bishar Neilah El Nora Alila El Nora Alila Hamtelanu Mechila Bishat
Neilah by Marge Piercy. The hinge of the year, the great gates opening, and then slowly, slowly closing on us. I always imagine those gates hanging over the ocean, fiery over the stone gray waters of evening. We cast what we must change about ourselves onto the waters flowing to the sea. The sins, errors, bad habits, whatever you call them, dissolve. When I was little, I cried out, I want. Older, I feel less important. A worker bee in the hive of history, miles of hard labor to make my sweetness. The gates are closing, the light is failing. I kneel before what I love, imploring that it may live. So much breaks, wears down, fails in us. We must forgive our broken promises, their sharp shards in our hands.
Turn to page 620. Yitkadam v'yitkadam shemei Rabbah ve'alma divrach yirtei ve'yamlich malchutei mechayechon uvyomechon uv'chayed lechol beit Yisrael b'gala uv'zman kariv ve'imeru amen yesh me'Rabba mevorach le'olam olam Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalam v'yitalal shemei dekudesha brichu le'ela ule'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Tamiran ve'alma ve'imeru amen.
The gates are closing, the evening stars approaching. Together we are left with the same yearnings. Please, Divine One, inscribe us this year in the book of life. Holy Weaver, please let us have another year of sun, rain, changing leaves, snow under our boots, and blossoming gardens. Please, Keeper of secrets, help us live into our truest selves. Help us be messy. Help us find shelter, however temporary. Help us move towards each other, towards you. So as we approach this final silent Amidah, in all of our exhaustion, our supplication, our fragility, our hope, may we feel that spark of connection to you, source of life. Please hear our prayers through and beyond the words on the page as our energy elevates and roots towards you, always you. Page 622.
Adonai sefatai tivta ufi agit tehi